Timothy KUDO had no illusions about what would happen when he joined the Marines and went to Iraq and Afghanistan.
You know, as an infantry officer, we were trained pretty extensively on how to take the fight to the enemy. And we were trained to kill and to order men to kill.
But after doing just that, there was no training for civilian life, where he walks the streets of New York feeling like a killer.
And then when we came back and we all went our separate ways, it was something that, we never heard about again, and it's something that we were left by ourselves to think about, and that's a very difficult thing, I think.
It's what some experts, like retired Navy psychiatrist William Nash, call moral injury, the emotional wounds from having done or failed to stop something that violates deeply held values.
The aftermath of moral injury is shame, guilt, anger, and a feeling of, I can't trust myself anymore.
It's different from post-traumatic stress, which is fear-based, with flashbacks to terrifying, life-threatening combat events. Moral injuries affect the conscience. KUDO's remorse stems partly from an incident where Marines under his command killed a pair of Afghan teens they thought were insurgents.
But I can't forgive myself for it. I know that their families won't forgive me for it, and the people who can forgive me are dead, and nothing's going to change that either.
But Nash, who is in charge of Marine combat stress programs, says forgiveness is the key to dealing with a moral injury.
So you can't unring the bell. You can't just whitewash it, pretend it didn't happen.
While the focus for years has been on PTSD treatment, Nash is hoping other researchers will start concentrating on troops with moral injuries and finding what he calls psychological first aid treatments to help ease their guilt. For those suffering now, what's left is to live with regret and simply try to move on. Sagar Meghani, Associated Press, The Pentagon.